Are you flipping the rage bait on me?
What is that existence? Responding to chuds. I love doing it. Let's go with the dog against the dogs. Alabama.
When I had a choice to pick a co-host.
I know.
Oh, you're betting on the game. Why would you be doing that? Because it's fun.
That's not right.
I forgot to throw us in here because I was too distracted calling you a chud on social media.
That's nice, man.
Joe DeLeone, Sean Anderson, here at Geek'd Bets. Today, we're going to talk a little NFL free agency. It's not that far away. I don't think people realize with the NFL Combine being next week, a lot of steam is going to pick up for momentum for certain guys re-signing, certain guys getting franchise tagged, maybe trades coming to fruition, and going to be a lot to talk about next week with all that going down. On top of this, we're also going to talk about the Darryn Peterson situation. This is one of the more wild circumstances with college basketball that it's kind of stretched across sports, that it's turned into this large talking point of what the heck is this kid doing? I need a real doctor to step in because I've got no idea if he actually has a legitimate issue, if cramping is something that can be something that really holds back a kid and you can't play through it, or if it's in his head. We're going to unpack that. We're going to talk college basketball bets for this weekend for the two biggest games. We've also got NBA bets for Friday. Lots coming up your way on today's show. If you haven't done so already, guys, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future shows. All right, Sean, NFL free agency. It is going to be intriguing to see if any other big names end up on the market. When you first looked at the available free agents, it was a solid group, but now we've got Bradley Chubb. Now we've got Tyreek Hill. There are opportunities for more guys to get cut with roster bonuses coming around the corner. I want to unfold the top free agent players in the NFL that you need to know. I'm going to jump to you first and let you share your first player that you want to bring up. Who do you got?
Okay. Can we share players or do you want me to just jump right in?
Jump right in. Give me your first one.
My 1-1, if I needed a player to enhance my team this offseason, if I needed a player to turn my good team into a great team or my playoff team into a Super Bowl caliber team, is Tyler Linderbaum. That is big, meaty center playing with the Baltimore Ravens. He's a premium center. He is not the center that your team has because the 28 out of 32 teams have a regular guy playing that position. He is one of the 4 guys that is not a regular guy at that position. I unfortunately saw some pressure numbers from him that got released by Rotman and not so great this year. It's fine with me. Tyler Linderbaum's the man. He is a physical run blocker, a very good pass blocker. I am so confident that the Ravens understand the value in him, that they're trying to figure out how many people can we cut? How many people can we just absolutely cut off the roster so we can afford to keep Linderbaum? They're probably at like 14 or 15 guys by now, trying to think about it because he's going to demand big money. But he's not the who was dummy that went to the Bears Drew Dalman. Drew Dalman was the big.
Talk about a guy who got a lot of money and was probably a little bit overpriced for what his value actually was. He still was solid.
He was fine
this year, but does not match the market for what he got contract-wise. Tyler Linderbaum is a market resetting type of a center.
Yeah, Dalman can't snap, and Dalman can't snap and block at the same time. Linderbaum can. He's a natural at the position. He's very, very good. So he is a market resetter. He is the guy that the Bears were a year early on. That teams this year will be a year late on if their cap isn't figured out to be able to sign a guy like this. Any team that he gets signed to, they become more professional. And an offensive line gets immediately improved. It's one of the few times you're looking at the free agency market and I'm like, man, if we got that guy, we're in a completely different situation. That is the level of importance I think getting Tyler Linderbaum on your team is.
As a fan of a team that desperately needs a center, John Michael Schmitz ain't doing it. Talk about a guy that's just on a team. Every team's just got a center. Nobody has a Tyler Linderbaum but the Baltimore Ravens.
I thought Michael Schmitz was supposed to be good.
He was supposed to be, and he hasn't exactly lived up to the the hope. The problem with John Michael Schmitz, I liked his tape coming out of Nebraska. He was a high floor prospect, and he just has been so banged up and inconsistently available. I'd like to spend the money and go for the big upgrade and bring in Linderbaum. I don't know if it's going to be possible for the Giants because they have to clear space in order to be able to afford him. The Ravens right now have $22 million in cap space. So I would imagine most of that money would go towards bringing back Tyler Linderbaum. That is a sound strategy.
That's
for
where
the
it
Ravens.
should go.
I wonder if they decide to tag him. I don't know off the top of my head, so I'm not going to guess what the tag for centers is. I don't believe it would be super high because it's supposed to be the average of the top 5 highest paid players at an individual position. If you could look that up, that would be much appreciated. But I would imagine that the Ravens would have enough self-reflection to understand that they cannot let Linderbaum hit the open market because they will not be able to bring him back. And most importantly, with Harbaugh in New York, I would imagine if they do evaluate that they want to get a new starting center, Harbaugh would probably do a pretty aggressive job of trying to recruit him. Tagging him is probably the best approach.
The tag appears to be for the offensive line.
It's just a blanket offensive line.
At least here at over the cap, $28 million.
Oh, man, they might not be able to tag him.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot, man. Baltimore's in a real tough spot.
That is I had
big homie. They're going to say, "Hey, down the line, here's your $40 million. This year, we need you to stay on for about 8."
The amount of teams that need to set themselves up for success, and most importantly, prepare their offensive lines to maybe better protect the youngster. There's so many teams that we can talk about like that. Someone with ridiculous cap space is going to unload an unreal amount of money on Tyler Linderbaum. So if they're not willing to spend that 28 for a center is a lot.
Baltimore, I'll give you Ryan Newsel and $5 mil. All right.
What?
That's what I'll do. That will deal right now before free agency. You get our center and $5 million. We'll pay you to take him. Go ahead, please.
All right. You stole the first guy that I wanted to bring up, so I'm glad that we got to talk about him. Trey Hendrickson needs to be discussed. Trey Hendrickson's a little tricky because his market value is a little hard to evaluate because he's over 30. He's an older player, but his production over the last 3 seasons, really the last 2 because he got hurt this past year, is nuts. He's got 39 sacks in the last 3 seasons. It is insane how dominant he's been when he's been on the field. Now, you do kind of have to worry in terms of the new contract that he's going to be getting. Do you factor in availability and concerns of future availability? Do you factor in concerns of him falling off of a cliff? Edge rushers over the age of 32 typically do not maintain that level of success. There's very few guys that maintain that degree of dominance. So it might impact his market. I think that there are a handful of teams out there that would be willing to spend upwards of $30 million or more on a big contract for him in order to boost their pass rushes. Do the Seattle Seahawks consider going and bringing him in? Does a team like the Patriots try and go and spend some money in order to bring him in order to really establish a defensive presence? There are a lot of franchises that I think have the bread to spend on really incorporating him into their defense. And he's the type of guy that will be a leader when he's not dealing with the BS of his contract like he had been dealing with the Bengals.
I'm starting to get Bengals fatigue, and I'm looking at Trey Hendrickson through the Bengals lens, which somehow they're psyoping me into thinking that he's not that good and not worth all that money. And I'm starting to flip on it just because he is getting older and he's never been Mr. Explosive, and he's just made the most of his explosiveness, which is a great trait, way to be adaptable, way to be a guy that learns the league. I think that if you're one of these big money teams that was deep in the playoffs, like the Seahawks or the Patriots, I think it hurts you bringing him on because they were doing so much with young cores and they were building it out so well. I think you try to stay cheap. Hendrickson is not a break the bank guy to me, but I'll take a risk. I will take a risk. If I'm like the Commanders, I take a risk. As a fringe team that needs a guy, if I'm the Chiefs, I might take a risk. If I'm like the Jaguars, maybe I'll take a risk. So some team that's on the fringe that needs another 8 sacks, another 10 sacks, That's where I think I see him landing, opposed to, hey, just come join the super team or be the best player on our defense, which he currently is in Cincinnati.
Yeah, the whole market for what he's going to be and how he's perceived is he just looked at as he's our veteran second rusher that is the final piece, or is he really looking for that gigantic payday to be recognized as one of the top pass rushers? The Bengals did him dirty. We talked about this on the last show for anyone who wants to go and check that out. The segment is also published separately on the Geek'd Up page. Who's the next guy that you want to bring up as a top free agent to know?
I have to bring up Breece Hall as my next free agent to know. Breece Hall also, firstly, he's like top of the tag expectation list. Like every time the franchise tag is brought up, they're expecting it to be Breece Hall that is receiving the franchise tag from the Jets. Ridiculous decision. If he does, he's such a phenomenal running back. And similar to how I've viewed Trey Hendrickson, Breece Hall has been tainted. He has been besmirched, and that is by the uniform that he's worn and the logo on the side of his helmet being the New York Jets for his entire career. You have that happen to you, I think you're a better man for it, honestly. I think Breece Hall is a better player for showing how exceptional he can be with such a disaster of a franchise. That lets me know whenever a team wants to get serious and make a play and get a running back, they are better off. He is... I will not waver saying he's a top 10 guy and should be paid like a top 10 guy. The explosiveness is there. I love the way that he reads at the second level. He's just a really, really good running back. He stayed positive too in New York. All the time he's put in with the Jets, nasty injury, and he's stayed positive. Normally they're rotting. Normally they're vindictive and angry. These talented players that get stuck on the New York Jets, they never win a thing. They play in the slop. They play for a bunch of angry people that aren't angry at them, but they're angry at the ownership, but they still seem like they're angry at the players. Breece Hall is a guy that has overcome and persevered. Reward him. Somebody needs to reward him with a better destination where he can finally flourish as a running back and become that guy. I'm about 2 years away from saying the same thing about Bijan, by the way. I think Breece Hall is in that same atmosphere of game-changing running back. Completely changes your offense.
Yeah, he's really unheralded because he's on just such an awful franchise that hasn't been competitive. One team that immediately makes sense to me that has a lot of cap space to spend, it's the Commanders. You use your draft pick to address defense and then spend whatever amount of money it would take to bring in Breece Hall. The one thing though that makes it easy for him to get tagged, the franchise tag for running back is only $14 million. So it's nothing crazy if the Jets did want him to return for this upcoming season. But the Commanders is like one of the top teams that I would think of that they want some juice at running back and they want somebody to play alongside Jaden Daniels. To me, that is such a perfect pairing.
Make it happen. That'd be awesome. Send him to Kansas City too. I want
Jeremiah
Kansas
Love
City.
Kansas City, man. I want Jeremiah Love in Kansas City.
Oh, you are a chaos
I want
guy.
that. I want that so bad. I don't want him to go after Breece Hall. I want J Love.
Do you think that he falls to Kansas City or they trade up for him?
I think
I can't imagine
it probably. I wouldn't consider that really a fall. Him going a running back going 9th overall with a bunch of
Kansas City is the 9th overall pick.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You didn't know they were picking that high?
I thought they were in like the teens.
9th overall pick, dude.
Oh, we're in trouble.
They have a worse pick than the Bengals. Jeremiah Love being a Chief is far more realistic than you realize. I am rooting for that. I want Jeremiah Love on a good team.
I didn't know that.
With a good coach, with a good quarterback, where we can watch him strut for 1,700 yards because he is not the only player on the offense. I want that so bad, man. I absolutely want that so bad. But to that point, Commanders would be interesting. I have to bring up George Pickens. I would imagine George Pickens gets tagged because the Cowboys, how could you let him go after you went and traded for him and he played as good as he did this past year? 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns. George Pickens played to his potential. We finally got George Pickens. We finally got to see, ironically, in one of the most distraction-filled locations possible, in a microscope of a city and playing for a team that just gets so much attention, he ended up playing better. He ended up improving instead of being in Pittsburgh where I know that there have been crash out receivers, but one would think that Pittsburgh is mostly distraction free.
Mm-hmm.
He reached his potential. I want Jerry to just figure this thing out. But if he hits the open market or they tag him and try to trade him, I think that he will be transformational for whatever team is able to pull him in, or if the Cowboys end up bringing him back.
Pickens is like the guy that sleeps better when he moves in next to the fire station. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Thing?
No, but playing better as a, I hate labeling as diva wide receiver, but I don't know.
I don't think he's a diva. I wouldn't count him as a diva. He's a chaos agent. Because diva is AJ Brown, which is you're either an outward complainer or you're a quiet complainer, and AJ Brown is both of those things, where he's clearly visibly upset.
George
with what
punches
his role was.
people on the field.
Yeah,
man.
that's
like
that's
honestly,
not to you. How many receivers do you know doing that?
There's not many. He's
a linebacker playing receiver.
I don't know what to classify it. Because it's not.
He's a dickhead. That's a
okay.
good kind of dickhead.
There we go.
That's
there we go.
Is.
Perfect. Dickhead wide receiver. I think the tag is looming. Also, Jerry doesn't want to get burned again. He does not want to get burned on another large deal, which pisses me off because George Pickens earned it this year.
Yeah.
Stellar season. Really, really, really saved the Cowboys before they imploded and they did their whole thing where it's like, oh, we're going to make it now. Oh, no, we're not. This is the guy you pay, Jerry. I know you ate a tough one with the Trayvon Diggs contract, and you paid Dak so much money, and you paid CD so much money. But you pay George Pickens. If you went out of your way to go sign him and go get him, you might as well keep him if he's doing something like this in his prime. Say, hey, George, maybe you stop punching people. You get an extension after this 3-year deal that we give you. I hate the idea of tagging him because he was so good in Pittsburgh too. Like his body of work is solid. He deserves a big contract, but it is an impact guy to watch. My last player, just briefly because we didn't have we had one. I haven't had a defensive player yet. Devin Lloyd for the Jags. He single-handedly beat the Chiefs. I haven't seen a player like that in a while. He's a stud linebacker, flow state linebacker, just so fast and so talented. I hope he gets out of Jacksonville and they lose 3 games next year, or they win 3 games next year, pardon me, and he goes and plays for a great team. But that is a probably the best linebacker on the free agency market. And then lastly, Kyle Pitts, another guy rumored among the tag rumor mill.
I think you gotta tag. You gotta.
I'd pay him.
This is one of the few instances of like a positive outcome for like they've invested so much into him. They drafted him, and there's so every year we're waiting for him to break out. Every single year we're waiting for the vision. We're waiting for it to come to fruition. You got to see it through. You can't let one of the most freakishly athletic tight ends ever to enter the NFL that has given us glimpses, hasn't done anything to any regard that makes him a problem. He hasn't had like serious lingering injuries.
Yeah.
It's just been inconsistencies with the team and the offense and the play calling that has hurt his production. You got to see it through. You can't let him land with another franchise that maybe has their ducks in a row a little bit better and watch him pop off for 1,500 yards or some nut ass stat line because they finally say, hey, why were we putting him in line? Why didn't we just flex him out? Why didn't we actually just use him as a big X? Just like the biggest X receiver in the NFL. Why didn't we just do another mismatch instead of Arthur Smith using him as a decoy?
They're masochists. That's why. And there's nothing that the Atlanta Falcons would love to do than to stick it to the fans one more time and let him go and watch him just torch the team. It is what it is. I think he's shown improvements. I think that he's still so young. I mean, when he came into the NFL, he was like a kid. Honestly, you look back at him rookie year, it's like a kid. I know it's crazy to say because he's such a freak athlete, but now he's got some NFL muscle tacked onto him. His blocking has actually improved tremendously from the inline stuff. His rookie year where it was just rough. Second year was rough. He had the injury. This year I saw so many positives with him, and he's still so young. You still have like you can get a contract, another big contract out of him 4 years. He's not even 29 yet. You know, you're still getting him done. Another one before 30. So I think the sky is the limit. Quarterback issues are starting to loom and concern me a bit. But I think you roll the dice on Kyle Pitts and you don't let him go to free agency. But if they start messing around in Atlanta and he is like,
Mm.
I'm out of here, or I'm going to test it out, and they don't tag him, somebody is going to get better. And there's going to be a really smart offensive coordinator that says, I've been waiting for this opportunity. I've been waiting for this opportunity to get a tight end like this. Or I've been watching Kyle Pitts, and all I'm thinking about is what I would do with him in my offense. It's like George breaking up the couple and Jerry and Elaine saying, we've been scouting them. We're ready. Yeah, thanks, George. Thanks for opening that up. Now I can go in there and have my fun. Don't let it get to that.
Tight end franchise tag is only $16 million, which is kind of interesting. Here's the one team that would totally sign him and completely upend the entire NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the Los Angeles Rams have $44 million in cap space available to them this upcoming offseason? Did you know that they have to what you just depicted here? An offensive mind that's been just hoping, maybe waiting for that insanely rare weapon to work with. And I know they got a solid tight end room. They drafted Terrence Ferguson last year.
Terrence is okay.
Could you imagine Kyle Pitts in the slot with Puka and Devontae Adams still? And theoretically, if they drafted with that Falcons pick, which would make this even funnier if they drafted Mekhi Lemon. So they'd have Mekhi Lemon, they would have Puka Nacua, they'd have Devontae Adams, and they'd have Kyle Pitts. That would be one of the most insane offenses in the NFL if they put that together. I'm rooting for. I couldn't imagine a more dangerous unit. I am rooting for that. I am hoping that the Rams have enough foresight and realize this is the opportunity. This is our chance. We got Stafford for one more year. He just won the MVP. He wants to walk off into the sunset. We're going to go all the way in. We're going to build our Warriors super team.
I'd fly to Atlanta with a knife and cut myself in front of Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
What?
That's what I do. I'd gut myself in front of the stadium in brutal protest. And also, Atlanta, this is why you sign them. Unfortunately, it's looking like you're not going to have to pay money to one of your rookies from this past year, your impact rookies that look like a guy that was going to earn a big contract. You ain't going to have to pay James Pierce Jr. So you might as well deflect that money over to Kyle Pitts.
I don't think that his contract would have been like that. Do you think that they're getting rid of him?
I don't think with the laws that are going on, the mandatory laws in Florida, that we're going to have to make that decision under the timeline of a Kyle Pitts contract.
Okay.
It's looking like a mandatory 5.
Well, we're not.
I'd like to give Pitts a mandatory 3 with an option for 4. That's what I'd like to see him get.
Well, obviously not rooting for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Tough situation with James Pierce. The Otter Creek says cut Michael Pittman. I was curious. His dead cap, if you cut him before June 1st, it's only $5 million. So plausible. Michael Pittman's been a weird case. He earned that contract in 2023 when he had 1,100 yards. He was pretty productive. And then he had 808 and then 784 for his yardage.
Yeah.
Talk about a guy who just never.
I mean, that whole team is crumbling. That whole Colts team is falling apart at the seams. I know there was just the Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor run show, the extravaganza this year that probably affected it, but Pittman hasn't had a quarterback there. He just hasn't. We have Flacco.
Well, he had Daniel Jones this past year, and his Achilles popping obviously was not good for that. Let's move over and talk a little college basketball here, Sean. Darryn Peterson has dominated headlines recently. The Kansas basketball player is one of the most physically gifted athletes that you're going to see in an NBA draft class. This year's draft class is nuts. There's going to be a lot of superstar caliber players, which is hard to come by. And Peterson has established himself in the limited amount of time that he's played as the clear number 1 overall pick. The problem is he has some of the strangest availability issues for an athlete that I think that we've ever encountered. Can't even come up with a comp with this. I can't. Maybe Ben Simmons. That's probably the best that we can do. He has played 15 of Kansas's 26 games this year. He's had quad cramping, a hamstring strain, and an ankle injury. But where things are starting to bubble up and get problematic is this cramping issue, which it's kind of phantom. We don't know how to really prove this.
Yeah.
It's not like
We've
a
seen
rolled ankle or a torn ACL or a hamstring strain. A physical therapist, a team physician can evaluate those things. It's kind of hard to really evaluate how bad the cramping is for him. He took himself out against Oklahoma State with 7:22 to go. And it sounds like Bill Self is not very happy with his star's actions. He stated, "I didn't anticipate that tonight at all. I thought he was good to go, but obviously we only got 18 minutes out of him. I thought we were past it, but obviously we're not. It's certainly a concern. You get into the NCAA tournament and you're playing a team just as good as you. You need to have all your best players available. All it takes is for one day like that to derail not only a game, but a season. So yeah, it's concerning. Plain and simple. Bench the kid. I'm tired of this. This is stupid. This is unbelievably stupid. If it's really this serious, he's got some sort of medical condition.
Yeah.
Not my problem now. You're trying to win a Big 12 championship, an NCAA championship. Sit him. Tell him to go prepare for the draft. Send him home. This is dumb. I can't believe that this is even a talking point.
Yeah, I remember seeing some cramps pop up ahead of gassers in training camp, and then during the season they didn't really pop up that much. Sometimes, an athlete will cramp up when it's not really a cramp, and it's really tough to decipher when it's really happening because you can't see it. But what I saw when he pulled himself out of the last game, where he knocks down a three, turns around to Self, and gives him the, all right, now pull me out, like pull me out now. That was damning. Because before then, I didn't see it. I didn't see the instance. I didn't see when it exactly happened. And that made a difference to me because I saw him. He was in a fine demeanor, shot a three just fine, pulled himself out of the game. It is just so glaring. Because before that, you're like, man, maybe it's an injury. I don't want to judge. Now it looks soft. It looks soft. Because what do you do? What's the expectation, even if he does go train to the NBA? We see he's got first-round talent.
Yeah.
We see he's probably
first overall talent.
Correct. And you're like, man, this guy could be the guy. And then he gets paid. And maybe you get a year or whatever, how many years, and then he gets the Supermax. Then what? Then he's playing half the games? Because the NBA is not cracking down on their weight load management stuff.
Yeah.
So what are you really investing in? Are you investing in a guy that's going to play 70 of 82 for you, which I would consider decently reasonable? Or are you going to pay a guy so much money to play 40 games for you, hope you make the playoffs, and then turn it on then? It's really a rough act. I don't know if I'm blaming Peterson or basketball culture more right now. But if I was building a team, I'd want guys who want it, that don't come out of the game, guys that are hungry to play every single possible minute that they can. That's why I love LeBron so much, because LeBron, when he's playing, plays as much as possible. LeBron, when he was with the Cavs for the second time, going up and making that big run, had to shoulder the teams that he brought into the playoffs. He played every minute. I don't know if Darryn Peterson's a guy that can do that.
I also, first guy that popped in my head when you're saying all that, I remember watching Jokic against the Knicks like a week ago, and he was on a minutes restriction because he was coming off of an injury. Game went to OT, and he played till the end of the game. You've got guys that
hates basketball.
Right. That's depicted as hating basketball. First and foremost with Kansas, you need to stop wasting your time. You need to put out a guy who's at least going to play. Is it impactful to have the best player in the country on the court? Absolutely. I don't think anyone's going to doubt that. But why the hell are we supposed to, and why is Bill Self supposed to believe that he is going to get something out of him and then he suddenly checks out? The worst part about this is the randomness to it. If you're not going to go before the game, it's fine.
Yeah.
To do it mid-game, just be like, nope, I'm out. Is to your point, we both were college athletes. Is it something to a degree where the NCAA tournament starts and suddenly he's fine and he plays the entire tournament?
I think so.
Or he takes himself out in the middle of a game in the Elite Eight?
I think he could be looking at, and his team gets not the Kansas team, but the team around Peterson himself.
Yep.
They get called into question a lot. Their character and their decision making and their influence on Peterson, they get called in a lot. And they could be, if I was really concerned about the generational wealth that Peterson could bring and just all the money, and if I was really that concerned, I'm like, this guy's the ticket. The phone call would go like this: hey, it doesn't matter if you're a 1 seed or a 16 seed in the tournament. It doesn't. You're Kansas. You guys can get there. You can make it. Just make sure you make it. Don't stress yourself out till then, because right now it's just the regular season. What are you playing for, buddy? You know, you could win the Kansas. You guys could win. Phone call over. Kansas could win the national championship. I'm sorry. I don't know.
On the other line?
Yeah.
Who am I talking to? Who is this? You called me.
Yeah. Kansas could win it all. They really could when they're firing on all cylinders. So why do I need to wait and play in the regular season when I could just turn it on for 6 straight games, play all my minutes, and then we win everything? And then are we sitting here saying, oh, Darryn Peterson, the villain? Or are we saying, oh, Darryn Peterson, oh, we got a banner here? I don't like the means justifying the ends.
This might come off as kind of crass.
Oh.
I'm calling bullshit on all of this. I mean, cramps feel like something that you could play through. Cramps feels like something that you should be able to battle through. Is it something that's uncomfortable and that absolutely makes it difficult to stay on the court, stay out there? We're football players. Does it make it difficult to stay out there and play? You should come out for a couple minutes and try and figure out how to get back out.
Yeah.
Cramps are a hydration thing, are they not? Like, what am I missing here? I'm not a doctor. I'm obviously not a doctor. I'm a chud on a microphone. Is there an issue with how much water he's drinking? Can we get him an IV during the middle? It just feels like, I'm not doubting that he's getting them, but it does not seem like it's such a grand issue that, like, oh, this is happening to me. I have to come off the court and I can't finish this game. It feels like it's one of those circumstances, having had cramps as an athlete and been around teammates who had them during preseason conditioning. Guys had them in games all the time.
Yeah.
I have seen plenty of players who have had them in games, got the IV, got the whatever electrolytes they need to,
pack, anything they can get,
and then fought to get back into the game, and then got back into the game and played and finished. If you can't go for, say he came out with this, he came out with 17-22 to go against OK State. Say he comes out. Why can't they slow the game down, take a timeout, comes back in and with 10 minutes to go?
Yeah.
Maybe even 4 minutes to go. It doesn't sound like, too, there was any fight for him to get back on the court despite beating Oklahoma State. Like, it just doesn't seem like he has the urgency to want to be great. And if I'm an NBA team, I'm not drafting the kid. I'm not doing it. Ben Simmons is probably the best example. Ben Simmons was otherworldly talented. Ben Simmons, once we realized that he didn't give enough of a shit to learn how to actually play the game, his career went down the toilet. So we need to remind ourselves that one of the most important things when evaluating talent is if a kid actually wants it or not. And he clearly doesn't. He doesn't. This is pathetic. And Self needs to look internally. His teammates need to be honest with him. And they need to either just tell him to figure it out and man up, or go home, go prepare for the draft, go figure out what you're going to go do.
I wonder if it's creatine cramping, because Peterson is a unit and he's not built like every other basketball player. Like, he's got big shoulders, he's got a big neck. I used to play football with this kid that took creatine, and I don't think he was like, it was kind of off the books creatine, where, you know, we weren't in high school, we weren't talking to the trainers about, oh, how much should I take? When should I take it? So every second half of the game, he'd have to go out and he'd be like, shut me down for the game. I literally can't play. My whole body's cramping. I think he could be messing around with that. I've cramped up plenty of times playing basketball, just winded. It was more of a stitch, but just getting winded. It's uncomfortable, but it's still basketball. You're just running the floor. Eventually it goes away. It does. It's just a really, really bad look for the whole program and for Peterson. I mean, I guess unless you win the title or you go to the Final Four, this whole season is going to be left with a really bad. It's going to be leaving a lot of Kansas fans, and I guess college basketball fans even too. I'll loop them in with a really nasty taste in their mouth of like what could have been, what could have happened. Because Calipari brought in a bunch of one and dones. People were complaining about that. The one and dones played. The one and dones in Kentucky, they played, and they played all season, and they made runs, and you got to see the highlight tape. You got to see everything. Peterson's got like a 4-minute highlight tape. Anthony Davis he had 25 minutes of highlights throughout his season at Kentucky. Give me a break.
I just saw what you did. I saw what you did.
Where?
All right, let's move on to college basketball bets. These are our favorite picks for college basketball for this weekend. We've got 2 major matchups, so we're dishing picks for these 2 games. Houston, Arizona, Duke, Michigan. It's always really interesting when we get these. I guess this is like kind of like a recent thing. Last year, Duke played Illinois and did this where you've got these cross-conference games in the middle of conference play. This game's being played in D.C. I'm going to be locked in watching this one. You're a real POS for doing what you did. Your bit is the worst bit on the planet. I'm mad at myself for making us pick the same games and me also writing down my picks because I knew that your bit was just going to be, all right, what Joe puts down, I'm going to fade because that's what you say to me on the show all the time. It's what you say to me in the apartment. You come in here and you ask me while I'm sitting on the couch doing work, who do you got in this game? Because you want to ask me so you can effing fade me. So you know what? What's your pick? What do you got? Well, you break down your logic for these 2 games. I'm going to sit and listen. Who are you taking for the 2 games?
First of all, lightly, go screw. I am taking Michigan, giving 3 versus Duke. I wish you would take in Michigan because we would have been on the same page. You taking Duke is crazy, by the way. Michigan, unbelievable machine of basketball that they're playing. I mean, it is a machine team efficiency, effectiveness. They just go and they crush teams. They beat them down to their will. Dusty May is a surgeon of death, and he doesn't matter. The state of Michigan is playing the best basketball out of any state in the country right now. Michigan is unreal. Michigan State's pretty good. Detroit Pistons are pretty good. I have it on
Michigan has also been a covering wagon, by the way.
Oh, good Lord. I did not know that they were getting what's the Ypsilanti? Is that their thing where they are?
I don't know.
I thought they had some college.
Yeah, I know where. Oh, yeah, it is Ypsilanti.
Yeah. Michigan.
By the way, they're 10-17, but they're really good against the spread.
I am betting on every single Michigan game for the rest of the season because they have proven to me that they're big winners. Every time I bet on Michigan, they win. I'm thankful that you take Duke because it's good content because I get to watch you come here next week and cry about, oh, Duke didn't do so good. Oh, no, John Shire got coached in circles. And then Dusty May was sitting there giving thumbs up like a killer. That's what's going to happen there. Also, Arizona versus Houston. You know my stance on Houston. You know I hate Houston. I've always hated Houston. I hate betting on Houston. I will happily take Arizona. Spite pick. Also, Arizona's a wagon. Arizona's got players, talent, can shoot the 3. Big monster.
Yeah, do you have the same logic when they lost their first game of the season when you bet on them, right? Right? Am I remembering that? That was what you said, the same thing?
I like this Arizona team.
Are they a wagon?
And I also hate Houston. I hate the way Houston plays. I hate that it's just mid-ranges and we got these long-armed wings that, well, if we play defense good enough, then we'll just do it. They're not playing that good a defense this year. Houston keeps on losing. So I like Arizona to cover in this one.
Don't besmirch the label of covering wagon using Arizona, who's covering at 56%. Okay, don't besmirch the unique label of being a covering wagon that we've established on the show, 70%. Hey, you know who a covering wagon is?
Ooh.
You know who that is?
Go ahead.
It's Eastern Michigan.
Okay, gotcha.
10-17, but is covering it. This is I forgot to check this stuff because sometimes you just go off of trends. You don't pay attention to how bad teams are. They're 10-17 this year. They're covering at a 73% clip.
Oh yeah.
There couldn't be a better team. I wish they were going to the tournament because I would bet on them then.
They're hooping in that state. And to the Arizona Houston point, I might take Arizona money line. I might take Arizona.
Do it.
Giving 4.5.
Do it. Here's my
Houston reeks.
Here's my logic. Duke +3. They're 8-2 in their last 10 against the spread. Their only 2 games that they didn't cover was when they lost to UNC off that late shot and a 24-point spread against Boston College. They are a great team right now. And I get that Michigan's good, but side by side, they haven't exactly been truly challenged both these teams. Best team that Michigan's played lately was Michigan State, and they handled them. Best team that Duke's played was UNC, and they lost on the road. I think neutral site, I think Duke is going to stun them. I really do. And I think that we're riding the trends. We just need a 3-point cover. If this is a close loss, whatever it is, I'm taking the Duke Blue Devils.
And the fact that I
the
just
fact
watched
you think
UNC.
this won't be a close game?
You know what? I'm transitive. I'm going transitive here. I just watched UNC get their backs blown out by NC State. You're telling me that team beat Duke? I watched that effort, and I watched the lack of skill at UNC.
One of the most intense rivalries in sports, and you're downplaying
I can give a darn.
And also, UNC is a ranked team. This is very, very sound logic for me. I was listening to CBS Sports' college basketball pod, and
with Nate Burleson.
What?
Do you think he's getting added as a college basketball analyst?
Is he?
Yeah, for the tournament.
What?
Yeah, Nate Burleson. He's gonna be talking hoops.
God, I hope he just says a bunch of random BS. God, I really hope there's nothing better than, dude. I like Houston, and one of the things that was pointed out to me that I dug into, Arizona, what has become their fatal flaw is that they take a disturbingly low amount of 3-point attempts. They're a good offensive team, but in a modern version of college basketball that relies on 3-point shooting and 3-point shooting success, they're doing themselves a disservice. They're 329th in college basketball in 3-point attempts per game. So that means they got to win. Their bread and butter is taking 2-pointers. Houston is 15th in the country in 2-point field goal percentage defense. This is a bad spot for them. But here's the most important part.
Okay.
Arizona's crumbling. Arizona is falling apart with the way that they've played over the last 2 games.
Watch that.
You bet on them the first time. It didn't hit. They lost. It was their first loss of the season. They are falling apart. You know what you do when a team's struggling?
What?
You bet against them. Now they're playing good teams. Welcome to the real challenges, Arizona. Welcome.
Not against Houston. Houston doesn't have a Coapete. Arizona's built well. Brady Murray is an awesome guard, and they also got a big Eastern Bloc center. I don't think Houston does. This guy, here we go. Krivas. Let's just go with the last name here. Mojtejus Krivas. Big Eastern Bloc center. It's dominant. It's the new trend dominating college basketball. I don't know if Houston's got that guy. Last time I was watching them, they looked not that big in the paint. I think Arizona is going to work them down. It's going to be a beating.
Also, this game is at Houston, so I think that is going to.
Oh, the Houston faithful. I love hearing about how passionate the Houston fans are.
It.
Team sucks. They suck in football. Basketball is always underwhelming. They never make any real noise. Sick of them.
Jumping over to the NBA. Oh, by the way, current college basketball standings. I'm 3-3. Sean's 2-4. Moving over to the NBA, we don't have an update on our NBA standings because the picks from the last show are being played tonight of tonight's show. My first pick, I'm gonna jump in here. Pacers -1.5 against the Wizards.
How dare you?
Wizards suck. There's a bad slate of games on Friday.
It's rough, man.
There's a bad
that you made me pick 2. Why would you make me pick 2, man?
I mean, you're allowed to pick the same games as me. Pacers have won 4 of their last 5 games against the Wizards. A close line. This Wizards team sucks, man. They've lost 5 of their last 7 games. They're just mega ass. I'm going to take the Pacers in a close one. I think they've got the edge here on the Wizards.
The Wizards front office was ranked 22 out of 30 in the recent, front office rankings or some nonsense like that. We're not that bad. Not that terrible.
What's your first pick?
My first pick, what is this? Oh, the Grizzlies given 4.5 points to the Utah Jazz. First of all, the team makeups are very opposite. And the styles that they play very much different. Grizzlies, look at this, won 2 games in a row. They beat Milwaukee without Giannis, and they beat Utah. So I think we're gonna be doing okay with the Grizzlies against this sorry team. Oh, pardon me. Just hide all the recent games. Never mind. They're on a 4-game loss streak, and now they have to beat Utah. But they already beat Utah this year. I think they'll do it again.
I don't mind that. Actually, there was a pick that I was tracking. Potentially taking.
I'll default to the chalk all day.
The next pick I'm going to go with, I'm going to go Minnesota -11.5 against the Mavs. Mavs are 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 games. The Mavs season has gone horrendously poorly outside of their actually was in their control. Nico Harrison's the reason for it. This is a resetting, rebuilding year. Feels like an opportunity for Anthony Edwards and coming off the All-Star break to just pop off, get a quick, easy one, move on. Bad team. Mavs have no juice, no energy, nothing. So I'm going to go with Minnesota.
You know what's so cool about the All-Star break is that every year they pitch you that the All-Star break, the players come back refreshed and they play with a bunch of energy and effort. And I literally cannot tell the difference between the week before and then the week right after. I can't tell. Either they're hungover or they're still living the island life or anything. I'm not believing it. I think that real basketball starts getting played. When does this freaking season end? Yeah, it starts getting played in April. Right now, we still got a month.
April's usually when it really starts to pick up. See, I watch NBA right now that the NFL's over, but I find, I don't know about you, I find college basketball a lot more entertaining.
Likewise. Make these games, make the NBA season like a 60-game season. Maybe make it like a 50-game season.
Started at Christmas time. That's the best time to start. All right, let's move on to the.
I have another pick.
Oh,
I have another winner.
I don't care.
I've got another huge winner here. Buckle up.
0-1 right now.
Bucks getting 3.5 points versus the New Orleans Pelicans. One guarantee you can always count on me for on this show is I will never tell you to bet on the New Orleans Pelicans ever in my life. You'll never hear that from me. Team is tragic. Team is real bad. They're fat. They're slow. They're lazy. The who the hell's playing? Oh, the Bucks. The Bucks coming off a huge win against Orlando and another monster win against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I like this team. I don't like this team. I like this team against the terrible New Orleans Pelicans. So I'm going with that. I can't believe New Orleans is favored. They shouldn't be.
Perfectly sound logic there, Jonathan.
As always.
All right, weekend parlay. I built this a diabolical parlay with my 2 legs. Why don't you dish out? We're going all Olympics here again. Why don't you dish out your 2 legs as I pull up the parlay that I dropped into that I already put $1 down for? It's going to pay us. It's going to cover our rent for next month.
Very nice. My 2 weekend parlay legs. That is Canada giving 1.5 goals. I don't know how to hockey term. Like, I don't want to say points, but goals. Okay. Yeah. Giving
1.5 points.
Well, 1.5 points, I guess. Yeah. It just feels weird.
Now you're confusing me
because they say
1.5 goals. 1.5 goals.
All right. Yeah. Canada giving 1.5. I'm just going to leave it.
I played hockey. Why are you doing this to me? Like, you're like making me doubt.
Because it's just weird. Language sucks.
I've never heard anyone say points, and now you're making me wonder if anyone does say points.
I don't know if they say it when betting on hockey.
Points in hockey applies to goals and assists combined when you're looking at stats and such. Okay, regardless, 1.5 goals.
Canada giving 1.5 score versus Finland.
That the worst possible option. You said, we're gonna go with the worst option. I'm gonna say the dumbest thing. I already said something dumb that was gonna confuse everybody. We're cutting you off. Here are my 2 legs on the parlay. No, you had your chance.
What do you mean?
My 2 legs on the parlay. We're going all USA again because the last time that I went USA legs, we got them. We're going to go Connor Curran, men's aerials, not areolas, men's aerials, gold medal winner, plus 500. And then in Corrine Stoddard, in women's gold medal relay in speed skating. Sorry, not gold medal relay. Women's speed skating relay gold medal winner plus 3,300. Your soft ass picks are taking us down on the odds that we got on this. What were your 2 legs? Let's try it again.
Canada giving 1.5 versus Finland, and the USA giving 1.5 versus Slovakia. The hockey's been entertaining. They've been keeping it tight. The first round was a lot of blowouts. I'm starting to get a little worried.
Were you asleep through the USA women's victory today? Yeah, did you please tell me you saw that?
I was asleep. I was actually irritated that all the notifications on my phone kept on like waking me up.
You missed one of the best finishes.
I know.
Hockey game that we could have been given.
I support that women's hockey team.
A nap.
I do. I'm fine with that. I did. The women's hockey team is very good, and they've been pulling off like filthy goals, and they've got a ton of talent on that team. I don't want to disappoint. Here's a name for you. Janelle Kelleher, one of the original ASN members who all she did was want to write about women's hockey. So I remember that passion, and since then it's stuck with me. Like,
I don't know who that is.
This women's hockey thing. And good leadership there. Yeah. No, I missed the game.
$1 to win $4,200.
Let's get it done. Let's get it done, man. Come on, Corrine.
Corrine and no, Connor and Corrine. Connor and Corrine. Double C. All right. We are going to hear. Oh no! Before we hear from the AI Chud, random bet of the week decided to go with another USA pick for the Olympics. I'm going to go with Keisha Love plus 2,500 women's bobsleigh. Don't know what women's bobsleigh is. Someone bowling in the hallway? What was that noise?
It sounds like a ball hit the pin.
It sounded like someone knocked over bowling pins. Plus 2,500. We're gonna go Keisha Love in women's bob. What is bobsleigh? Let's look at.
I hope they. You know what? I'm not going to the tree. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna let you look it up.
Do you know what bobsleigh is?
No, I don't.
Oh, this looks sick. I know. Is this not just bobsled? Why is it called bobsleigh?
I don't know.
What's the difference between bobsled and bobsleigh?
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm actually a little. I'm sick. I'm over the bobsled and the luge and the skeleton and these guys skating on top of each other. I'm kind of over it. I don't care.
Wait. So bobsleigh and bobsled. Oh, they're the same thing.
Is that like the formal term for
I
it?
guess.
Is that like calling yourself an alumnus instead of alumni?
That sucks. Who's calling it that? Who's calling it that?
The bobsleigh.
All right. Well, I bet on bobsled.
Okay. My random bet of the week. That is Ryan Garcia. Most punches landed at minus 172 versus Mario Barrios. I am not a huge boxing guy, but the thought of betting on most punches landed instead of the winner makes me happy.
Sick.
Especially because Ryan Garcia, famous for just throwing rapid fire punches in training videos and then crashing out promptly afterwards. I like this bet. I think I actually might take this one. IRL.
Wait, that's the point. What do you mean? You haven't been taking these?
I did not bet on Platt last week. I didn't want him to get platted on. He got platted on.
It ruins the integrity of the show if you're not taking the random bets.
I had a gut feeling.
I
had a gut feeling about Platt. I'm going to get all in on Garcia here.
All right, time to hear from our good friend, the AI Chud. So for anyone who's unfamiliar with the show, the Sports Geek is powered by an AI betting model. He does quite well. Leadership has asked us to incorporate his picks into the show. So we said, you know what? He can call in. We don't want to talk to him. He can call in and he can deliver a pick to us and leave us a voicemail. So this week, he's giving us a Thursday NBA bet, from my understanding. Let's hear what the AI chat bot, the AI pick bot had to say.
What's up, Geeks? Joe, I hope you had a great time on your golf trip.
I did.
Excuse me. Forgot what I was
Just
gonna
cough.
say. Completely blanked. What am I here for again? Yeah, pick for tonight. Hawks +1 against the 76ers at minus 110 odds. Have a good weekend, idiots.
It's a lot to unpack there. He coughed.
I just got coughed at?
He cleared his throat. And then he paused because he lost his train of thought.
That's interesting. You wouldn't think that an AI superior.
I mean, they're saying that AI is going to like really hit their stride. So I guess that he's more capable than we've realized.
It's capable enough to do stuff
To sound human,
humans
to sound really human. He's trying to sound as human as possible.
What was stuck in the AI's throat?
I don't know. I'm not a robot. I don't know what could possibly be in a.
You know what it'd be?
What?
Microchips.
I hope he kills you in your sleep.
I do too.
I hope
I do too.
He turns on the toaster and
they wouldn't even put that joke on a popsicle stick.
All right, let's wrap up with Curse Prop Bets. Every single week, Sean and I deliver fake bets that are not real, that we build odds for. Sean, what is your cursed prop bet of the week?
Over under, Joe. Over under 2.5 NWSL games you'll watch instead of Sunday Night Baseball, as ESPN is yanking Sunday Night Baseball in favor of promoting WNBA games and the NWSL. Salzy, you know what? Defend WNBA. It was an entertaining product last year for the most part when all the drama was getting stirred up and all that. Let me tell you something. I spent a lot of time out of college with the NWSL at SiriusXM. I would have to sit and watch these games and cut the highlights and pull them for the MLS channel or whatever the soccer channel was. It was painful. It was rough. One, it was soccer. I don't stand by soccer. Two, nobody in the stands. Bummer. Three, not a lot of goals. So for promoting NWSL over Major League Baseball, you have an opportunity to watch the soccer played over under 2.5 games you watch. Sunday night, you got nothing else to do.
Soccer, I don't even watch men's soccer. So I have no desire to tune into this.
I think it's going to be a countrywide under.
Wait, it's just NWSL?
NWSL and WNBA will be filling the slots on Sunday.
See, here's the thing. I wouldn't be shocked if I don't tap into a couple WNBA games because WNBA is fine.
I would.
But the one that's been really perplexing to me is this push for the NWSL. I don't understand where this kind of manufactured attention for it is coming from. I have no disrespect to women's soccer. I just don't think soccer is a very watched sport regardless. I don't think anyone cares about the MLS.
Not in the US.
Why are people going to now start watching the NWSL?
Yeah, it's look, if they want to open it up with fireworks, like the one thing about the MLS, they don't really play defense. So you're seeing a lot of screaming rockets right outside the box.
What was the last MLS game you watched?
Oh, that was at Sirius also. Sometimes I'd be watching. What's the New York?
I don't think I've watched a full-length soccer game in my life.
Here's the problem with soccer. Well, remember when the World Cup was happening and it was like Messi was in the finals and they went to like penalty shootout.
In my office where I was working at the time.
Yeah,
they set up all the TVs. Guys stopped working to sit on the couch to watch games. I didn't get up once. I left work at my time, the time I was to leave, and didn't care what the outcome of the games were. They stayed late to watch the games.
We had 8 dudes at the post-college house in Virginia, huddled around the TV, like watching it, like cheering. I was on the sunbed napping. Like I was asleep during that game. And they're like, Sean, you're missing it. I'm like, I'm good. I'm not missing it.
Pay me to care about
soccer. And they're like, it's the greatest soccer game. It was the greatest game ever. I'm like, was it? Did I miss out on something?
I don't understand how anyone can believe that there's any. It's just such a boring the field is too big.
Yeah.
The ball takes forever to reach the next player that it's being kicked to. And it's just back and forth, back and forth. At least with hockey, guys are getting hit in the arena small.
Right. Oh, but soccer is so physical. It's not physical if every time someone gets touched, they look like they got shot.
Yeah.
All right. That's tough for me. I hate the flop. Can't stand the flop.
All right.
I'm all flop.
My cursed prop bet is tied to Wendy's interim CEO after they fired their general manager, Ken Cook. He stepped in as the interim. He was asked, or he stated in relation to Wendy's announcing that they're closing hundreds of restaurants in 2026. He said it is a rebuilding year. So there's 2 parts with this. Again, fired the last GM. He's the interim. He's trying to earn the opportunity to be the full-time leader here to rebuild this team. Plus 1,100 odds that they win the draft lottery and they get the first overall pick. I mean, who are they taking if they do win the draft lottery? Who are they taking? Can they take Grimace? Like, can they just go and get Grimace? Is that how that works?
They drafted Doritos Locos Taco. It's like
that would be funny. That would make for a funny video. It's Wendy's is on the clock with the first overall pick.
Freaking killing.
They're drafting the Taco Bell Nuggets. A surprise pick. They're going with the McRib. No, it's unclear how the McRib is going to fit in their lineup, or if they're going to ask him to fit their style or not. But it's huge for their future and what they're going to be able to accomplish. It's to be said that he will be a full-time committed player, and they're not going to be bringing him into the lineup on an occasional occurrence.
The McRib is the Darryn Peterson of fast food sandwiches.
You know what I've been thinking about with this?
You
know what I've been thinking with this? This is now, I think, like one of my favorite things now. You have a bad day, it's a rebuilding week.
Yeah.
It's a rebuilding week. You're having a bad month. You just got fired. It's a rebuilding month.
Oh,
This is a rebuilding year.
they're picking up the freaking cookout hush puppies from D2. That's what they're doing. They're going regional. Oh, I love that you didn't bury it. You just oh my God. Here's, you know what? I'm going to give some GM advice to Wendy's.
Okay.
Look, you've had a tough season. All right. It's time to, you're obviously, you're cutting the fat. All right. But that means you need more fat. Get rid of the chicken tenders. Cut the tenders.
I kind of like their tenders. Their nuggets are underrated.
Their nuggets are underrated.
Yeah.
All they should be doing it. Here's another thing, Wendy's. Why are your nuggets only coming in 10 packs? Why can't you just get a 20-pack nugget from Wendy's?
You want 20 nuggets?
Yes, often. Who doesn't?
Who am I talking to?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I feel like when I have to do 10 spicy nuggets, 10 spicy nuggets? You know, that makes me feel like a disaster.
Yeah,
it makes me feel like
piece
a
of
fat piece of shit. Whereas if it's just one order of the 20, I'm doing okay. But you know what? They still have the holsters. They're like, oh, no, we don't want to spend on the paper to get a box for it. We'll just give you the loose holsters. You're picking nuggets out of the bottom. Fix your fries also. Lean back into the Baconator. Stop doing the...
Yeah.
You know what Wendy's did? This is what happens. You won a Super Bowl with the Baconator. You did great there. It became a top 2 fast food sandwich really across the board. And then you started going gross, and you started going real gluttony, where it's the Asiago cheese Baconator chicken sandwich.
Too cute with
You're
it,
getting
man.
way too cute with it. Let's get back to the basics and get rid of the Dave Single BS. All right, he's old. It's literally you're holding on to a 50-year-old Derrick Henry, and he just can't run anymore. All right, get rid of it. Square patty's fine with me, but that can't be your signature. That's not competing with the quarter pounder with cheese. It's just not. All right. You need to find that sandwich that can compete with the quarter pounder with cheese, because you can't just be leaning on the Baconator the whole time. He needs a break.
We need it's like Patrick Mahomes. He's got to get some more weapons. We got to get some more weapons. We need a better arsenal. We got to get back to the fundamentals. We got to get back to fundamental technique. All that needs to get back down to. Wendy's used to be my go-to.
Yeah.
Wendy's used to be because the food was always better. I feel like I have not had a central desire to be like, I want to go to Wendy's tonight. I have not had that in a minute.
You know why I haven't had that desire? Well, let me walk that back. Why I haven't had such a burning desire? Because they're priced like 2018 Five Guys also. Why is Wendy's so damn expensive? It is, and this is look. I'm not Mr. Cheap. I'm not Mr. Watch Every Dollar. People know that about me. It's not that. But when I see the price of a Taco Bell a soft taco go up to $2.79 for one, that's an issue. When I see a Wendy's $18 for a Baconator combo, unexcusable, ridiculous. You're charging a burger, drink, and bad fries for what you would get for a good steak and cheese now. Unacceptable. Fix it, Wendy's. It's time to rebuild.
Yeah.
Close more branches.
All right. We will catch you guys on Tuesday. To be determined if we'll be live or not, because next week's going to be it's Combine week. So we'll be back either way. We're going to have 2 shows coming to you next week. Subscribe so you don't miss out. Hit the like button, and we'll talk to you later.